Welcome everybody, my name is Lars from the University of Stuttgart, and I will today talk about parallel exhibitions. I did this work together with my colleagues from the University of Stuttgart, with people from Amsterdam, and together with Pavel from Gothenburg. The idea behind this was we have a lot of nice and beautiful objects in the storerooms, and there's often not enough space to show them all at once, or it might be difficult to show them all at once because they are on different places or just for different reasons. Then we thought, on the other hand, digital technology enables us to do a lot of more things with objects. We don't have them physical there, but we can show them, we can manipulate them, we can discuss around digital data. So let's keep the idea of connecting physical museums, because physical objects have a great beauty that we would like to explore. On the other hand, let's connect this with other objects that are not really there, we can discuss and manipulate. So digital objects can be copied easily, they can be manipulated, they can be redesigned. This allows us to start a creative process to discuss museums' content in a totally new way. And there we aim to start a new communication in the museum and in the community around the museum, between the different stakeholders, between the curators and between the visitors in the museum and other interested people. There are different works which already explore the field of communication in museums in a digital way. So, for example, in London, there was an exhibition where children were invited to provide storylines for an exhibition, but there was only a small groups of children were invited to provide new insights into the exhibition. On the other hand, in the Netherlands, there was the invitation to provide, on a digital way for a digital exhibition, images of the Netherlands. But here, the focus was more of the outside of the museum, so it was only in virtual exhibition. Now to our system, we have as the fundament of our system, we have digital databases like Europeana or Google Cultural Institute, or even museum-owned databases which are not necessarily available. And for sure, the physical storerooms, which are very important for the exhibition. In a classical setting, the curator of the museum staff design an exhibition and display this to the visitors. And now our idea was to communicate, to create a back communication channel, so that we create in the exhibition and space to discuss the exhibition, to rearrange parts of the exhibition, and enhance thereby the communication between all of the interested people in the museum. From a more technical point of view, we realized our first prototype as with web technology, that we have a lot of freedom technology-wise, how we would like to use in the museum the technology. And we have different views. So we have on one side the database with all the virtual objects in it. Then we have a curator part where the museum professional can provide or pre-select elements of it, provide storylines, provide physical elements which should be included in the arrangement already. And then we have an active part for the visitors or for all interested people to access the pre-arranged objects, which then can be arranged on stage in the museum or even outside, to give feedback to the exhibition, to design own exhibition spaces. And this is then presented in the museum with the content of real physical objects to a larger audience in the museum by projecting them or by displaying on a large screen. This is how the first implementation of the application looked like. On the one hand, the visitors can select images and can place them then on the plinth and provide text what they thought about or can view more information about it. After our first analysis, we identified that we needed much more of information about the object, because the visitors need a strong story behind the object, that they can get a feeling what kind of objects are matching together, and they would also like to be inspired which kind of objects are matching together, so we implemented this in the next step. For evaluation, at first we did a sandbox evaluation in the museum in Amsterdam. For around 5 hours we observed visitors which are used our system. We would run the system, I showed you already, on an interactive tabletop. So there was space for multiple visitors at once to see the application, to interact with the data. And we saw that a lot of people started discussing around in small groups around the application. So I'm coming from a computer science background. I didn't expect that more people started an offline discussion in the museum than providing information or discussion to a larger audience. However, there were quite many interested people in it, and they gave us feedback that they would like to have more of a guided approach, that they can more get experienced by other people, that they would like to have more background information, and many of them also expected an in-game element in it. So many asked, how much points do I get for my arrangement, or how do I get points, what's the next level behind this? And this was something we didn't thought about at the beginning, because we thought the idea was to be creative, to create a platform for talking about different ideas for the exhibition. And like you can see here, we presented the objects which could be arranged on physical plinths. There's also be thinkable that the museum could also include physical objects which are all the time there to arrange different objects around this. And then in the next step, to get a bit more structured feedback, we provided for our system an online access that different people just could try it out and give us feedback on it. And then we measured a bit more of quantitative feedback also. So around 40 participants explored our applications for around 4 minutes, and in total they arranged 6 exhibits mostly, and performed 23 actions while they exploring the application. And then we had a look on, did they identify the ideas that we include already things into the stage where they can arrange things. And here we can clearly see that 3 printers are detected from the most of the people as there should be an element on. Then we had a look on the data, and we can here clearly see that if people start to add more elements, they also remove more. We can see here clearly that's more of an explorative approach. The people played around with it without having a clear idea of how it should look like at the end of the setup. Then we asked them, how would you like to share your ideas you arranged, you created? And this, again, I'm coming from computer science background, was quite impressive for me, that most of the people would like to have it tangible, so as a printed postcard to take it home to discuss it offline. Less people are interested in sharing it online. This was something we also saw already in the exhibition in Amsterdam, that people are more interested in getting it to friends in an offline mode to show, hey, have a look, I was in the museum, this is what I thought about. And then we asked them, why would you share your ideas with other people, what you think is important? And this was even more interesting for me. The most important reason was for them because they said, well, I would do this because I missed something in the museum. And this was, I didn't expect this. I thought it's more just explorative. It's nice to share your ideas with other people, but I didn't expect that many people think that they're missing something in the museum. And at the same time, we conducted 5 interviews with curators, with museum professionals, and they said that they're aware of the need of more communication between visitors and the museum professional people. And they are also interested in using digital content in classical exhibitions, and there was a stronger interest in using own databases than using general accessible databases, because as I said, we have so many objects in our own databases, we cannot keep overview about even more databases. And then they also had they were unsure of how to guarantee the quality of the exhibition if users are invited on a large scale to provide arrangements or content to the exhibition. And also they said that they would like to use our application for other use cases, that they see that it would be nice to give, for example, the community around the museum access to such a tool, for example, for a focus group, that they also can provide more, not professional, but semi-professional knowledge to the exhibition. And then they said it would be interesting to use such tools for prototyping on a rapid way new exhibitions, just for discussing it with colleagues, that you can create with images or even better with 3D data new exhibitions on a fast way, and at least they saw it as important or interesting to use such an application in an educational way. For example, if you are going to a school, that you can teach easily children how to design an exhibition, or that they can explore how to design an exhibition. And to come to my conclusion, with parallel exhibitions, we take an approach to start a new discussion about discussions in museums between the different stakeholders. We create a feedback loop between the different interested groups in the exhibition, and we try to enrich the physical exhibition with virtual objects. So, thank you very much.